Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Pocket video here on iStarly TV. And it's late at night and I don't want to wake anyone else up, so apologies, you're getting my late night radio host voice, my ASMR voice. So hopefully you can understand me, but I wanted to make a video about this because the entirety of Space-Time Smackdown was just leaked or revealed. I guess it was data mined, so I guess they were able to, somehow someone was able to find these cards, so they are available now. I'll post a link to all of this in the description, so check it out. Now, this is every single card, of course, spoiler warning, if you don't want to see every single Space-Time Smackdown card before the set comes out, I'm about to show all of them, so keep that in mind. So you have been warned, spoiler warning. So, and when I show it, it's going to be showing my screen, and it's going to be showing basically several cards at once. So keep that in mind. I'm about to show them. So here we go. These are the cards. I'm going to not talk about every single card. I don't want this video to be too long, but I think there are about 10 EX Pokemon total. Let's talk about something that's really, I think, disappointing for a lot of people. If you saw my previous video, you know that we're getting Infernape EX. We are only getting Infernape EX of the starter Pokemon. So no Torterra EX and no Empoleon EX. So as you can see here, we have a Torterra card. Something I noticed about this set is a lot of the fully evolved Pokemon are very energy intensive. Like Torterra requires 4 energies. So it's probably good with Superior, but at the same time, I don't think you would want to play a deck with 2 stage 2 evolutions, so, that's something to keep in mind. I'm just going to try to talk about the Pokemon that I think are, noteworthy. Of course, I'm probably going to miss some, but, yeah, I'm going to talk about things that I think are noteworthy. Of course, not every card. Yanmega EX looks awesome. For 3 energies, it does 120 damage. This pairs really well with Superior. With Superior, you would only need 2 energies on this to do 120 damage. That's a lot of damage. It also only has 1 retreat cost. This also pairs nicely with Dialga EX, because Dialga's attack puts 2 steel energies on any of your bench Pokemon, and so it doesn't care whether they're steel types or not. So I think Yanmega EX looks like a lot of fun. Of course, it's a stage 1, so you do need Yanma. Yanma's very weak, but what else would you expect, right? But I really like Yanmega EX. We're getting Wormadam, all 3 forms, all 3 types, and it looks like all of them have 120 HP and require 3 energies to attack. Not super exciting, but 120 HP is kind of a lot. I don't know if you'd ever play these, but kind of interesting. We're getting another Magmar, and then we're also getting Magmortar. Magmortar is really strong. It has Bursting Inferno for 100 damage for only 4 energies, and it burns the active Pokemon. So this is the first really strong fire type, maybe not the first, but a lot of fire type Pokemon, they do a lot of damage and require a lot of energy, but they require you to discard energy, and this does not. So once you have all the energies on this, you're just firing off, no pun intended, those Infernos consistently. So Magmortar could be an interesting one to build around with Moltres or something like that. I like Macargo as a Pokemon. Unfortunately, this is not very good. We talked about Infernape EX in my other video. And then here we have the Swinub line, and they're all interesting. They're not that bad, but Mamoswine, for example, 4 energy, 120 damage, that's pretty strong, especially considering water has a lot of ways to accelerate energies with, of course, Misty, Manaphy, Vaporeon, for example. And this also takes minus 30 damage from fire or water Pokemon. So if there happens to be a good water deck, if the Gyarados EX deck continues to be really strong, this could be a good anti-meta card potentially, but it's a stage 2, so I don't know if you'd rather just be playing EX Pokemon at that point, but I think it's interesting. I think it's definitely worth considering. We do also get all of the Regis, which is really cool. Of course, this set is inspired by 4th gen, and the Regis are 3rd gen. I think we get Regigigas as well, so maybe that's why, but this prevents all effects of attacks by the opponent's Pokemon. So these are really good tanks. They're really good at just having high HP as basic Pokemon. They don't really do that much damage, but you know, they have interesting effects. Here's Empoleon. Empoleon's kind of interesting, 80 damage, and it does 30 to one of the benched Pokemon. That's actually really cool. Again, it is pretty sad that it's not an EX. I really don't know why they didn't do EXs of all of them. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed by that. Let me know in the comments if you are one of those people. We also got another Finneon card. It's kind of cool, but not really worth talking about. We also got one of each of the Rotom forms. So there's 2 water Rotoms because one is water and one is ice. So, you know, people could say that that's like a waste. Instead of getting like the Rotom forms, we could have gotten other Pokemon, but I like these. I don't know, the cards themselves are not very good. 30 damage for 80 HP, like basically that's like similar to Heatmore, and Heatmore hasn't been particularly good, so who knows. Here's Magnezone, 110 damage for 3 energies, and you discard 1 electric energy from this Pokemon. The downside to that is it's a stage 2. Like, if you want to do a lot of damage with an electric type, just play Pikachu, right? Just play like Pachirisu. As a stage 2, I don't know if this is good enough, sadly. Electivire is interesting. For 2 energy, it does 40, which is not good, but if it has 2 more energy, it does 80. And Electabuzz kind of ramps itself with energy, and then there's also a Volcaner support card that puts more energy on your Electabuzz, or your Electivire. So that's one way to consistently do a lot of damage with Electivire, because 120 damage is definitely a lot. Here's Luxray, does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so this can kill anything on the bench. Of course, you have to discard all electric energies though, so this could be a good Pokemon to like set up on the bench, and then like when you need your last prize point, you just send it in and kill them. It also has 0 retreat cost, which is really, really interesting. Here's another EX, Mismagius EX. Man, I would have loved a Honchkrow EX. Like, Honchkrow and Mismagius are like counterparts. Would have been great to have Honchkrow EX, but 140 damage, stage 1, 140 HP, 70 damage for 2 energy, and it confuses them. Interesting Pokemon, probably not as good as like Mewtwo and Mew, and even the Cresselia EX we talked about in my other video. So yeah, I mean, it's cool, but is it good? Let me know in the comments what you think. You know, I think I'm kind of bad at evaluating these cards right off the bat, and then people usually like talk me into it. So go ahead and talk me into Mismagius EX in the comments. We got Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, and it looks like they all kind of... Mesprit is like the main attacker. If you look at this, this is insane. 160 damage for 3 energy, but you must have Uxie and Azelf both on your bench. So you kind of need to be playing all 3 of these, which I don't think that's really worth it. They only have 70 HP, which is pretty easy to kill, and Azelf and Uxie don't really do that much damage, so I don't think they're great. Giratina's a really good wall, a really good tank. It has 120 HP, but if it has any energy on it, it has no retreat cost, so that's actually kind of insane. People used to use the non-EX Mewtwo as like a tank in the Mewtwo deck, and it was just there to like absorb damage, and then late game you would just switch into your Mewtwo EX once you have all the energies on it. That's a lot easier to do with Giratina if you have 0 retreat cost. I think that's kind of insane. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, there's a lot of good Psychic Pokemon now. I don't know where the Mewtwo EX deck is going to go. There's so many options for it. We have Rhyperior, which again, 4 energies. that's kind of a lot to ask for, unfortunately. I've also got Gliscor with flipping coins. This is like the cutest artwork ever. Personally, I love Hitmontop as a Pokemon. This is not a good card. This is like not a good card at all, which makes me really sad because I love Hitmontop. It's like one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. And yeah, this is not good, sadly. Here's Regirock. Pretty standard. We also get the other fossils, Rampardos and Bastiodon. This one's pretty strong. This is actually, wait, that's really strong. Although this is a stage 2, right? So this is insanely powerful though. I actually think there's something here. 130 damage for 1 energy, but if you knock them out then you take 50 damage, that's fine. I think this could be a really interesting deck, dude. And then if you have like Lucario on the bench, then you can kill Mewtwo's for 1 energy. That's insane. I'm gonna be looking at this card. Hippowdon's really cool, but not very great. I mean, 120 damage is fine, but 4 energies, that's like a theme with this set. A lot of energies, a lot of damage. We finally got Sneasel. It's fine. I mean, it's there to set up Weavile, basically. We got a lot of dark types in this set, which is what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, not a lot of them are very great. Like, Mightyena is basically a worse version of Arbok in almost every way. It requires 1 retreat, but aside from that, it's like worse in every way. Krogunk is really interesting. Flip a coin for each of your Pokemon in play, so you could flip up to 4 coins and do 20 damage for each heads. That's okay. And then Toxicroak is the same, but for 40 damage. That could be interesting, but you need to consistently have a full bench for that to be good. Although even if you have 2 Pokemon on your bench, like three coins, that could be something. I don't know. At the end of the day, that's requiring coin flips, which is never something you really want to rely on, unless you're Celebi. Now we got Darkrai EX. This is insane. Its ability, whenever you attach a dark energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, you do 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Even if this is on the bench, every time you put energy on this, you get to do damage to their active. That is insane for a basic. You just put this in play, either on the bench or as your active, start putting energies on it, and you're doing damage. And it combos really well with Weavile, because Weavile does more damage if they have damage on them. So, pretty insane combo. I think Darkrai EX is just insane, and this is exactly what I was hoping for my Weezing deck. Here's Registeel. Meh. It's okay. It's kind of cute. Here's Bastiodon. This is also kind of powerful. It's 160 HP. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin. If heads, it takes minus 100 damage. This can survive anything in the game. Well, I guess it can't survive a Celebi with like five energies on it, but with a Superior in play. But aside from that, this can survive almost anything in the game if you flip right. 80 damage is not amazing, but this could be an interesting wall. Of course, like Rampardos, this is a stage 2, so it does require a lot of setup, so that might not be good enough. And as far as steel types in general, obviously I think steel types are going to get a lot better with Dialga EX. We also have Heatran, which is really cool. I think steel it's got something going on. I think there's a shot to make a good metal deck. Registeel could also be in that deck. Skarmory could be in that deck with tools. So yeah, I think there's something going on there. I'm really excited to finally build a hopefully decent metal deck. And then here's Garchomp. We talked about it in my last video. This is probably the most surprising EX, Licky EX. I never thought I would say those words. People are talking about how it actually combos with Dialga because you want to put a lot of energies on it. And then, so this does 100 base damage, and then you flip a coin until you get tails. So this can do, oh my god, this can do massive damage. It always does at least 100, so that's really strong. And like I said, if you pair it with Dialga, you could put a ton of energies on this and kind of get it going somewhat quickly. Porygon Z is really interesting. Like, it has a lot It has a really unique ability that we haven't seen before, but it's a stage 2 once again, so we'll see how this goes. I love the Porygon line. I also think this Porygon 2 artwork is beautiful. I love it. We will see. I would love to build around this, but I'm just not sure I want to play too many stage 2 Pokemon. We also have a funny situation where Starly, kind of like my namesake, is an anti-tool Pokemon. So I wonder, I don't think you would play this by itself just because it discards tools. This is like the only tool hate that I've seen, right? I haven't really seen anything else that like forces the opponent to discard tools. So I don't know how good this is going to be. I mean, Staraptor is like okay, it's not very good. Sadly, I think like Pidgeot is better, Pidgeot EX especially. So yeah, we'll see. So it looks like we're only getting 3 tools in the set. These 2 are both very good. Lumberry has its uses. Obviously we're getting Confusion and Burn in this set, so between those 2 as well as Paralysis and Poison, and Sleep, there are a lot of effects like that. So maybe if there's a deck that gets really popular that relies on Poison or something, or Burn, like maybe this becomes playable, but I don't think you would play this right off the bat, whereas these 2 are very good. This card's really interesting. Choose a Pokemon in your hand and switch it with a random Pokemon in your deck. So if you have like an extra like Snivy in your hand and you don't need it, you can swap it for something else. And here are all the new supporters. Team Galactic Grunt lets you find a Glameow, Stunky, or Croagunk in your deck and put it in your hand. This could be interesting if you're just playing one of these cards, or 2 maybe. Like if you're playing a deck with Stunky, maybe there's a world where you play just 1 copy of Stunky, because this card can always find it for you. That could be kind of interesting. Here's Cynthia. We know what she does. We kind of know what Volkner does. He puts more energies on Electivire or Luxray from your discard pile, which is kind of cool. And then there's Dawn. Move an energy from one of your benched Pokemon to your active Pokemon. That will be pretty interesting. That gives a lot of decks the ability to move energies around, whereas before pretty much only like water decks or fire, some grass decks could do that, but now any deck can do that, which is interesting. And then Mars seems really good. Your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws cards for each of their remaining prize points needed to win. So this can turn the game around. If your opponent only has 1 point left, you can just make them get rid of their hand and draw 1 card. So that could be good. It's similar to Red Card. I think there's cases where it's way better, but even then, you know, it's kind of risky to play. So it'll be interesting to see what decks play this card. I thought he was on the toilet. Is he on the toilet? That's cute. Let's take a look at all the full art cards. They all look amazing. Every single one of these is beautiful. I'm just going to kind of scan through these. I really like the Heatran one. That one's awesome. Ooh, Spiritomb. That is sick. Oh my god, that looks so cool. This one's really cute. All of these are great. Wow. These are all awesome. Yeah, I love it. Alright, well, that is Space-Time Smackdown for you. It is coming out, I believe, tomorrow, within probably about less than 24 hours from now. I mean, at the time of making this video, it is about 24 hours from now, but yeah, I mean, that's the entire set. I'm extremely excited about it. I'm going to start cooking. I'm going to start brewing decks. I really want to build around Dialga EX, so I think the first pack I'm going to open is Dialga, so I can hopefully draw a couple Dialga EXs, and then I really want Darkrai EX, but Licky Licky looks fun as well. Let me know in the comments which of these cards you are most excited for, and which of the Dialga or Palkia packs you're going to open first. Actually, I also like Palkia. I don't know. There's so much going on here, and I'm really excited. So have a great day. Hope you didn't mind my super quiet ASMR voice. Hope it was enjoyable. That sounds weird. And I hope you have a great day, and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon.